Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to discuss the Q4 FY25 results of Office Space Solution and also we'll discuss the FY26 outlook. So first we will discuss the business model in a brief and then we'll look at the numbers, then we'll look at the growth drivers और उसके बाद valuation का parameters हम लोग देख लेते हैं. So basically, Office is a end-to-end workspace solution provider है एक platform provide करते हैं basically they build the spaces for customers clients and they lease out those spaces like it's a flexible high quality स्पेसेस प्रोवाइड करते हैं एट अ फेयर प्राइस राइट. तो इनका जो रेवेन्यू आता है वो आता है एक रेवेन्यू पर सीट जो भी एक पर सीट जो रेवेन्यू ये रिकॉग्नाइज करते हैं राइट. तो इनका बिजनेस मॉडल जो है बेसिकली इट इज डिवाइडेड इनटू मेजरली टू पार्ट. दो टू वे से ये लोग अपना बिजनेस बनाते हैं. तो वन इज मैनेज्ड एग्रीगेशन विच इज मेंशनड हियर एंड द अदर वन इज स्ट्रेट लीज. So this managed aggregation was used to be 41% of the total revenue in FY21, and they have translated or into a like 67% of the revenue comes from the managed aggregation model now, and 33 comes from the around straight lease model. So straight lease model is simple to understand. ये जो पुराना मॉडल है जस्ट फाइंड आउट करो ओनर के साथ कोलैबोरेट करके वहाँ पे स्पेस बिल्ड करो एंड देन लाइक ओनर को आपको रेंट देना है बेसिकली. सो ओनर यहाँ पे ज्यादा कुछ लाता नहीं है. ओनर के पास ज्यादा रिस्क होता नहीं है. रिस्क यहाँ पे ज्यादा होता है राइट. तो that's why company is shifting on this managed aggregation where risk is very low. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है the office space solution they partner with the owner and यहाँ पे owner as well as office they both invest into this into building this space as well as they do the profit sharing also. So this is a risk averse business model and that's why they are into it. It is also high ROC business model. So 67% of the revenue comes from this model and 64% of the all centers right which they build is through this model only. Now if you look at the numbers basically यहाँ पे जो number है and then we'll have to go through all these elements basically. So there are basically two verticals. So one is co-working and allied services. So this is co-working and allied services वाला जो model that is managed aggregation model. So co-working I have explained. Now what are allied services? So basically they have complementary services into the centers which they build for the clients. For example, the office cafe. Then they collaborated with a company called Eco Mobility and they provide the mobility solution. For example, cabs provide करते हैं, transportation provide करते हैं. तो one stop solution हो जाता है. Also they provide the event management into that particular center. If any company wants to conduct any conferences or any function, so that can also be arranged in the same campus. So this is all complementary services to the main co-working business. So this first vertical is co-working and allied services. So this is important business. Then the second business is construction and fit out projects. So this is like design and build services in which they translate the जो भी client का vision है, जो भी client जैसे चाहता है, they will design that and they will give it to them. So this is also growing business. So if you look at it, the revenues in the co-working and allied spaces grew at a pace of 48% to 916 crores, and construction or fit out project में the revenue grew at a pace of 36% to 278 crores. Right. So total growth is like 1200 करोड़ का ग्रोथ है विच इज अराउंड एट 42% का ग्रोथ कंपनी ने FY25 में दिया. Right, these are all numbers basically. These are very interesting numbers. If you look at the metrics basically, the operational seats जो है FY24 में they were around close to 1 lakhs and they managed to add almost 40,000 seats in FY25. Now this number is like I'm comparing operational seats versus of FY24 versus FY25. So operational seats in FY24 were close to I think 95,000 जितने थे and operational seats in the FY25 around 1,35,000. Now there are additional seats which are in the pipeline, which are in the fit out stage, which is around 18,451. So total, if this translates into operational seats, then it becomes 1,63,000. Now centers they have added like 181 in FY24. They added centers like almost 230 centers in FY25 now and 14 centers in the fit out. So the chargeable area from which they get revenue, that has also been increased to 5.5 million square feet से लेकर 7.8 million square feet हो गया है. So this is all about the numbers, and we saw the revenue split. Basically, we saw the revenue split in the sense that the co-working and allied space is like 77% of the revenue. Major revenue is coming from that, and 23% is the design and build services, right? Again, if you look at the bifurcation in terms of tier 1 versus tier 2 cities, so tier 1 is like 85% and tier 2 is 15%, and into that also large corporates, they have around 66% of the revenue is coming from large corporates, and SMEs like 20%, freelancer 13%. So another important metric here to consider is the occupancy level. Like this is like capacity utilization in terms of the manufacturing company. So occupancy level into these seats on overall blended level at the company level is around 73%. But on the specific center levels, for example, centers which have been established like within less than 12 months, 12 महीने पुराने जो भी जितने भी सेंटर्स है वहाँ पे कैपेसिटी ऑक्यूपेंसी एक्सपेंशन is more than 83%, 83 to 85% जितना है, and company wants to take this overall blended level to 75%. That's their aim in FY26. So what are the growth drivers in FY26? What they have done is that they acquired clients like NSC and these global capability centers which are coming up in Gujarat, Gandhinagar, and then Bangalore and many cities. They have captured these clients for providing the end-to-end workspace solutions. Again, they have acquired the three premium customers in Hyderabad. There is another, high margin. They have vertical, which they call it as elite or gold centers. Now these centers like it's a luxurious kind of offices they build for the clients, and it is a high margin business for them. So they have, I think, opened one business center in Hyderabad, and they want to open another 3 to 4 centers in FY26. So that will add into the growth of the company. uh, Again, so tier 2 revenue is like 15% right now, so they want to increase that, and they entered into the tier 2 cities like Lucknow and Guwahati, and they want to enter into the another city like Vijayawada, right, in this FY26. So let's see how they do it. And allied services are also firing for the company because these are all complementary services. For example, in cafe business, what company is saying that there are around 200 office cafe, and company wants they serve the internal clients only, meaning the clients from the same center only, but they want to serve the external clients also. That will add another growth dimension to the company, right? So this is all about the company numbers. अभी 42% का ईयर ऑन ईयर ग्रोथ किया है, 1200 करोड़, और एबिटा मार्जिन 33% का है. इट इज ऑल एक्सीलेंट नंबर्स, बट ये सब तो पास्ट हो गया. अभी फ्यूचर में क्या, मार्केट तो आगे का देख रहा है आगे. और अभी FY26 में कंपनी क्या करने वाली है, तो कंपनी ने, आई वाज एक्साइटेड अबाउट दैट when I entered into the con call yesterday at 5:30 p.m. So what they told, and in the presentation also they're telling this. So I could get a gist of it. Basically, they're saying that in first half there will be, I mean, for 26 will be two pronged strategy. In first half, they will be doing whatever capacity expansion they have done in FY25. They will be focusing on the execution of that capacity, and their focus will be on the increase in the occupation at those centers. Basically 230 odd centers hai. So they want to increase the capacity at those centers, so that is their focus in first half, basically, right? So they want to increase that blended level का जो 73% का जो occupation है, they want to take that occupation to the 80 83 84% के range में, right? So that will again increase the revenue of the company. That is great. Now, but it all, the risk is what, it all depends upon what, the micro environment, right? जो कितना ऑक्यूपेंसी बढ़ेगा, राइट, कितना डिमांड है उसके बेसिस पे वो होगा. देन इन सेकेंड हाफ अगेन डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट क्या डिमांड है, दे विल टेक अप द स्ट्रैटेजिक एक्सपांशन, वो नया सेंटर खोलेगा. That he will do in the second half, not in the first half. So first half is kind of, let's say, it's a consolidation phase, and the second half is a expansion phase that we'll need to track. What guidance they are giving, that they say that around 18,000 seats are there in the fitment, and for 11,000 seats they have signed the letter of intent. That means uh, almost around 30 to 40,000 जो seats है, they have visibility on those seats, and these seats could be added. I mean, these seats could be operational in the FY26. So almost कितने seats आप add कर रहे हो? Almost आप लोग 20 to 30% maybe seats addition you're doing into the current operational seats, and therefore company projects that the revenue for FY26 could be 30%. So last year किया है 42%, this year ये करने वाला है 30%. That means what I was expecting they should come up and say that we will maintain the growth momentum, we will grow north of 42%, we'll open new centers in different tier 2 cities and tier 1 cities, but it's not happening. They have kind of, I would say, reduced the guidance. So that is one dampener, that is one disheartening thing from the con call, which although they talked about the margin उन्होंने बोला कि मार्जिन थोड़ा नॉर्थ ऑफ FY25 रहेगा, क्योंकि ये जो है ऑपरेशनल जो कैपेसिटी है, जो ऑपरेशनल एक्सीलेंस है, दे ट्राई टू ऑप्टिमाइज इट. जो भी इन्होंने कैपेसिटी एक्सपेंशन किया उसको ऑप्टिमाइज करके वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी इंक्रीज करने का काम ये लोग करेंगे, बट दे आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट इंक्रीज इन द ग्रोथ ऑफ सेल्स इन FY26. अग्रेसिव बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, जो विच दे यूज टू डू इन द लास्ट 4 did, right? So this is one small thing here which I don't like about this con call. Another thing that I didn't have clarity what कि ये tax slab business इतना zero क्यों है यहाँ पे, मतलब almost zero ही है. Last quarter में कुछ तो 7% था, and overall on a year it is I think under less than 1%. So they have clarified that they will still remain into that bracket because for many years they had a losses and they want to carry forward the losses to get the benefit from the tax. So वो tax पे यहाँ पे लगेगा नहीं. तो मैंने अभी जो कैलकुलेशन किया है पैट मार्जिन का, इट इज बेस्ड अपॉन विदाउट assumption ऑफ द टैक्स. सो इफ यू सी द FY25 में 1200 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू किया, उस पर 6% का पैट मार्जिन है, तो फॉरवर्ड पी इज अराउंड 69. Don't go for a screener वाला पी which is around more than 100. Actual P is around 69 in my opinion. And if they do the 30% guidance अगर किया तो 1500 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू कंपनी करती है FY26 में, with a PAT margin of 6%, that is कितना 94 crores का PAT आता है with a forward P of 50. Now match this, the the forward P of 50 P का ग्रोथ इंजन मिल रहा है, which उसका ग्रोथ जो है वो 30% का है, right? So this is a mismatch for me. This is a kind of, so maybe I will wait. If you'll ask me, not a buy and sell recommendation. This is just an information video, educational video. You need to take this video. You need to take this video as a starter, and then probe more into the company, analyze yourself, and then take your decision. So this is a mismatch kind of thing. I would rather wait and try to ये रेशो थोड़ा सा बैलेंस हो जाए. फॉर मी इट्स लाइक अगर ये उल्टा रहता, फॉर एग्जांपल 50% का ग्रोथ रहता और 30 का पी रहता, देन इट वुड हैव बीन अ ल्यूक्रेटिव बेट फॉर मी, बट नॉट एट दिस टाइम, right? So and the con call also, it is saying like that. So I will keep track on this company. There is another company in this space, that is EFC, which went into the, I think, losses last quarter. लॉसेस नहीं है या फिर उसका रेवेन्यू का ग्रोथ ही आई थिंक 3 या 4% जितना आया था. दैट इज ऑल्सो अनदर गुड कंपनी, दैट इज ऑल्सो वर्किंग ऑन द सेम बिजनेस मॉडल, बट उनका देखना पड़ेगा मैनेज एग्रीगेशन कितना है और स्ट्रेट लीज कितना है, राइट? और तो yeah, so do watch for that company also, but and track this company also. You may never know when the green shoots come out, right? क्योंकि मैनेजमेंट जनरली क्या करते हैं ना, अंडर गाइडेंस करते हैं लेकिन ओवर डिलीवर करते हैं. सो यू नीड टू कीप track on each and every con call, right? So this is it about the Office Space Solutions. If you like the video, give it a like, share, and subscribe, and do share with your friends also. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.